Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. So today I have already hauled one load down to Dubuque and I'm starting on my second one. The Sukup bin is now low enough to where we can start the power sweep. So I'm cleaning it out right now. I'm trying to get as much corn off of the power sweep as possible so I can start it up. Generally, you want to make sure that you've opened all the doors and you've cleared it off as much as you possibly can, because if you don't, it can cause problems when you start the power sweep up. Sounds like it's emptying out right now. So let's go ahead and start the power sweep. About as clear as she's gonna get, so I might as well start the power sweep now. So we've got several levers here. This is the main crank. This is the center intermediate door. Right now we've got all of the doors set to open. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unhook the intermediate doors, which I just did there, and now I'm gonna open the center one. We've opened the center door now. Now I just got to figure out how to engage the power sweep, which if I remember correctly, is that bottom lever down there. And you can only do this when the power is shut off and not running, or else you could damage something. So let's go ahead and pull out the clutch. Okay, I'm pretty sure now the power sweep is engaged. So when I turn on the power, in theory, it should run. I want to make sure that the center door is open, which it is. I pretty well figured out what the air gauges need to read in order to get about 75,000 pounds total weight, and that would be about 65 and 60, or 62 to 63 on both, depending on where the weight is. So I'm thinking that I'm trying to test the waters to see how high I can get it before I get up to like 77,000. But the problem is I keep thinking that I put like a little bit extra on each time, and I'm still within like 1,000 pounds of 75,000. Like for the last 6 loads have all been within about 1,000 pounds of 75,000 pounds total weight. So, I mean, it's a good thing I'm hitting my mark. That's right where I want to be. But it seems like I just keep putting a little bit more in every time, and I'm not really getting anywhere with it. Not a bad problem, I guess. Front gauge reads about 60 now. It's always really hard to get it exactly the same every time unless you know where your starting points are and where you load it at on the truck. Because usually once it gets to around 50, that's when I stop loading the front, because then I move it to the back. The pressure gauge, by the time I load up the back, will go up to at least 60. And then if I load it a little bit heavier, you know, I just kind of work from there. I found that whenever I move the truck or release the air gauges, the front one will go up by 10 to 15. Pressure gauges on the truck are now up to about 65 and 62. I think I may have loaded this one a little bit heavier than 75,000, but I mean, like I said, we'll just have to wait and find out. After my first day or two of hauling, one of the problems that I had fixed was the tarp. The old bungee was pretty well wore out, and after further inspection, I took everything off, and we just recently had worked on the Brent grain carts tarp. I think it was last year. And the problem that we were having there was kind of the same issue. The bungee cord was getting wrapped up in the tarp as I was rolling and unrolling it. And what I'd have to do with the semi is when I'd pull down there, I'd unroll the tarp, and then I'd have to do it halfway. Then I'd have to run up to the front, pull the bungee out because it was getting wrapped up in the tarp, and then I'd have to run to the back and finish unrolling it again. And it was kind of time consuming. I've been trying to speed up the whole process itself, and what I realized, or after further inspection, taking everything apart on the front of the tarp, was that there was no PVC pipe inside the tarp tube. There's supposed to be a piece of PVC in there that extends the length of the bungee out. What was happening was the bungee was pretty well pulled all the way out of the tarp, and there was just a bolt on the end of it. So there was no give and no stretch to the bungee whatsoever. That PVC pipe, I just went up to Gassers, bought like a 12-foot piece, stuck it on there, put a washer on the end, tied the bungee off, and then the new bungee, of course, and then I tied it to the end of the semi. I also put a new hook on the end that didn't come with the bungee. I guess I didn't order it, but at Gassers I got a hook on the end of the tarp there as well, so I can hook it to I can strap the bungee to the hook instead of just running it through the frame on the tarp rail, because what you'll have happen then is either it'll just wear into the bungee basically. So let's go ahead and head back down to Dubuque, see what we got on, and then try to haul as much as I can this afternoon. I've got my routine down, so now it's pretty much just going through the motions. After practicing enough, you never realize how much of the little things help you to speed up the whole process. Even when taking off from the main driveway here, I was having a hard time shifting through the gears after I pulled out, and it's never fun starting at first. So what I've started doing now, or now that I'm used to doing, is pulling out away from the bins in first, like I'm doing right now, just to get around the corner, and then immediately start in third. Helps me take off a little bit easier. Came a little close to hitting the mailbox one time, so I make sure to stay away from there. This is Life-Freed Hill. It's a big downslope going to the river, so it can be a challenge trying to keep the truck from going too fast, because this truck is not equipped with a jake brake. This river is definitely flooded. This is where it should be. This is the biggest hill on our trip, and at first when I started hauling, this was kind of a challenge for me, just because I didn't really know how to shift through the gears all that well. Even now I'm still learning, but it's definitely a lot easier. Let me tell you something, folks, when you know how to shift a little bit better than when you first start out, you add about 10 horsepower to the truck, at least. I love this transmission. this intersection's still missing a stop sign, which Travis and I almost got T-boned one of the times we drove down here in the pickup because of it. We got 911 bushels. Our total weight, our gross weight, was 75,420. What did I tell you? I try to load it a little bit heavier every time, and it's still the same. Test weight 60.80, moisture 1280, and 150 for damage and 1 for foreign matter. Loaded up with our third load. Here we go. I wanted to film the end of this video during the daytime, but unfortunately in the last 2 days I haven't gotten the chance to do that. We are into day 40 of it raining for 40 days and 40 nights with some snow strewn out in between. But basically it's been raining for a full week with some snow thrown in there, and it's just been a hectic past few days for me, and I just wanted to close out this video. Unfortunately I didn't get a chance when there was better light, but you know, farmer, got to work with what I got. Anyway, today marks the end of our 30-day fundraiser for Iowa and Nebraska flood victims. It's been a busy week here. I thought, you know, it's been pretty wet, things would slow down, and they haven't yet, but I'm hoping going into this weekend that, at least for me, things will get a little bit better. So this weekend's just been hectic. With that, I'll close out this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And don't forget to tell a friend about how farms work if you enjoyed our videos. With that, Rocket and I are calling it a night. All right, Rocket, let's go. Time to go in. Come on. See you next time, guys.